our town house debate. It'll be our last debate for our candidates. I would like to introduce Noah Crutcher and Wyatt Sowers.
I am Noah Crutcher, and I believe that every student should have their own device, and that's the only thing that they would have to carry with them throughout the day.
I'm Wyatt Sowers, and that's all I got to say for myself right now.
Okay, first question is going to go to Michaela.
This is for both of you. How will you make our day better?
How I make Raleigh Junior High better? Well, one way I'd make Raleigh Junior High better is that I'd probably involve more pride time or more time during pride, which gives students more time just to get homework done or late work or anything else they need to do. And that's one way I'd make Raleigh Junior High better.
I would make Raleigh Junior High better by having all sports available to 8th graders if they want to, and make it to where you could choose a little more about where your locked position is.
Okay. Our next question is going to go to Kelly.
This is for both of you.
Should there be naps allowed, and how long should they be?
I believe that if you have all of your work done, you can take a nap in pride if you want to.
I think in any class in general, if you don't have anything else better to do, and if your teacher allows it, you should be able to do what you want on your own free time. So if you wanted to take a nap during your own free time, you can do it.
Kristen.
For both of you, what's your opinions on phones in classes?
My opinion on phones in classes is I think students should be allowed to use their phones in classes if they need it for certain purposes, as for looking facts up or whatever they need. They should not be out doing quizzes, tests, or anything else like that. If students want to listen to music, they can listen to music while they're working quietly.
I agree with him on that matter, but I believe that there should be a 3-strike policy. So if you pulled out during a test and you're not supposed to, you can lose. If you do it like 3 times, you can lose your privilege to use your phone as a resource for that quarter.
Next question is going to go to April.
This is to both of you. And how will you stop bullying?
Well, bullying is a tough issue to tackle, but I believe that for cyberbullying, you would have people monitoring some, and you would suggest to people that they are being cyberbullied, that they block the user and don't let any of the messages come through. For normal bullying, I think they should turn in the bully, and the bully should get some reprimand, but also they should have someone talk to them and try and tell them why bullying is bad.
Can you repeat the question again?
How can you stop bullying?
Well, I've been thinking about this question for a while. You'll never be able to stop bullying. People will always pick on each other. You know, it's a dog-eat-dog world. You'll never be able to solve it. I think that more students should just stand up for themselves, and if they did that, it'd help to stop the problem. If students stood up for themselves, they could, or they should tell teachers and older people or someone who can help with the problem. If it's cyberbullying, computer stuff, I think people or students should potentially block the user, and that would be the end of it.
Ms. Kristen.
Well, both of you just remembered, but you guys said for cyberbullying they could block the user and it should stop it. But what if it doesn't stop cyberbullying and it actually comes into physical and verbal bullying?
That's where I agree with Mr. Sowers, is that I left it out, but stand up for yourself. Most people they pick on people that they don't believe can defend themselves. But if you stand up and fight, even if you lose it, they know you're not just going to stand by and be picked on.
As I said earlier, more people just stood up for themselves and had more confidence in themselves, maybe, it would help end the problem. But if it was physical bullying, it should be noticed by someone around, and if more bystanders would do something instead of watch around and laugh, that would help the problem also.
Next question is gonna go to Kai.
This is for both of you. How will your GPA impact the choices on the school?
Can you repeat the question again?
How will your GPA impact your choices on the school?
Impact choices on school. How will grade point average? If you have a good grade point average, your choices in school should probably be, or you should have good choices, so you could keep maybe your grades up out of people who I don't know.
With a higher grade point average, it could be one of things. One, school comes easy to them, but the other could be they work hard for it, and thus they can make more educated decisions as opposed to right off the top of their head, whatever sounds good at the moment, and that at some points that could be the worst decision out there.
Let's go, this question is gonna go to Trevor.
This is to know how should your grades be in high school?
I believe that school comes before extracurricular activities. That's it. So if you have below a 3.0, I don't think you should be able to play sports for the school team. Now, if you want to go out and find some other sport, you could, but for school-wise, if it's below 3.0, I don't believe you should be able to.
For grades and sports, I think that athletes should be able to play no matter what their grade, but if it's really that bad, they shouldn't be able to play. If they got bad grades, maybe 1 or 2 classes, I think they should be able to play. But once it gets out of hand, I think the students should be pulled from the extracurricular activity and shouldn't keep participating.
This one's gonna go to Hayden.
Do you believe that teachers should be paid a higher salary? Both of you guys.
I don't know. That's up to the teachers and the school board and what they want to do. I have no clue what to say about that right now. But it depends on the certain teacher's job that they have, which depends on their salary that they would make.
I believe that should be up to the school board and the city council to agree on, and for the people to vote, because it's their tax dollars that go to pay the teachers.
All right, our next question is gonna go to Jake.
To Wyatt, what can you do to stop bullying in the locker room?
Bullying in the locker room. Well, stop bullying in the locker room. It would be to have more adult influence or teacher influence in the area. See, when in the locker rooms right now, coaches just kind of sit in their office while the students do their own thing in the locker room, get ready to get changed. I've never really noticed bullying too much in the locker room, the class I'm in right now. But to help to prevent bullying in the locker room, there should be more influence by the coach coming around and watching.
All right, next question is gonna go to Cameron.
This is for both candidates. What type of effects do you think victims have from bullies, and do you think you can try to get rid of them?
Start with one.
Can you repeat the question?
What effects do you think victims have from bullies? Do you think you can get rid of them?
Well, people that are being bullied feel like they don't matter to anyone. But that's where you need friends to come in and say they believe in them, they're important to them, instead of just standing by and saying, get over it, it's only a bully, it doesn't matter.
Victims of bullying will often feel stressed, left out, and unwanted. To help in that, you could probably enroll or have them join clubs or extracurricular activities to possibly relieve stress in other or different ways. So that's another thing.
Our next question is gonna go to Chad.
Do you think teachers should show movies in class? No.
I believe that there is a time and place for a movie, as long as it goes along with what they are teaching. If it's just some random out of the blue time waster, I don't think that should be allowed.
I think movies in class should be a reward system, maybe. If it's an educational movie and they're watching in class, maybe taking notes on it. I think movies should be fine in class.
Next question is gonna go to Noah.
Should teachers have guns?
What I think on teachers having weapons in classrooms are, yes, I think they should have a gun, or maybe if the teacher decides to. If the teacher does have a weapon in their classroom, it should be hidden and never seen or talked about by students or the teacher. It should be locked and kept in a safe place at all times and only brought out during emergencies.
I believe that if the teacher wants to carry a gun, they should set it up on a rotational system. Have 3 sets of, say, 5 to 7 teachers have a gun throughout the week, and they swap it out. And have them go through the correct concealed carry courses to be able to carry it, and have it concealed on them at all times, no one knowing they have them.
Okay, our next question is gonna go to Kelly.
Do you think students should have their own computer for school?
I do believe that they should have their own computer for school, because it would make it easier. It would make it to where teachers don't have to worry about assigning a computer to people, so that they can just, the school the part that watches over the devices can just focus on it, so that they know they don't have to go look at a list, see who has it for that hour. They can just know that that computer is registered to that person, so if they have a problem, they can go directly to that person.
I think the system we have right now works fine without students having their own computer, because if students had their own computer, they'd have to carry it around and lug it around everywhere with them, and it could potentially get broke. It's safer, cheaper, and easier to keep your computers in the classroom as we have right now.
Next question is going to go to April.
Noah, how would you provide funds to have personal devices for each student?
Well, I believe that it should be tacked on at sale prices, because everyone buys something sooner or later. So everyone would pay and everyone would contribute to it.
Okay, next question is gonna come over here to Trevor.
How would you fund lower paid schools?
I believe that they should have some sort of fundraiser, like a car wash or something along those lines to help boost funds for it.
Dude, good question.
How would you fund lower paid sports?
I would fund lower paid sports by, that sport, say track, if they wanted new equipment, they could have their own type of fundraiser deal. Maybe potentially during the off season of other sports, they could take funds from that sport and put it to a different sport during a certain season.
Question gonna go to Michaela.
For both of you, do you guys agree or like the technology we have here?
I believe that the technology that they're bringing in, computers in the computer lab work well, and the Chromebooks work well. Some of the other laptops they have are slow and run down and make everything take longer.
I think the technology we have in our classrooms right now work very well. I don't think we should need anything other than we do right now because it's working out fine as it is.
Chad, question's yours.
Should it be mandatory for kids to dress up for PE?
I don't believe that it should be mandatory. If someone is comfortable going out playing, say, basketball or something in jeans, they should be able to. They shouldn't have to force people to change clothes during PE.
I think it should be mandatory to dress out for gym because if you're say wearing boots or sandals or something, you could get stepped on, break your toe. Boots aren't very good to play in, so I think you should be required to wear tennis shoes. And then shorts, the sports shorts should be required to wear because say khaki shorts or whatever in jeans, you get your fingers snagged potentially and break them. And sports shorts and t-shirts are better to play sports in anyway.
Next question is gonna go to Noah.
Do you think we should have lockers?
Start.
I believe that we should have lockers because some things you don't want to carry with you throughout the day. Say you don't want to carry, if you were able to carry all your stuff throughout the day, maybe you don't want to bring a lunchbox, but you don't want to, you're like me, who has a big lunchbox, you don't want to carry that throughout the day, where you have a gym bag, sports bag, you don't want to carry that throughout the day. I think you should have a locker.
I think we should have lockers because it provides a safe place to put personal items such as cell phones, backpacks, books, and other stuff that could get stolen.
Next question is gonna go to Cameron.
Do you think we should cut any extracurricular activities or any classes that you think would be unnecessary? This is both.
Right now, I don't think we should cut any extracurricular activities because they're doing fine right now. If there was potentially a problem with one of them, then yes.
Right now, I agree with Phil. I do not believe that we should cut any of these classes that could be determined as useless, but they can be useful for people who want to get a job later in life in that field. It helps them learn what they're gonna have to know a little earlier on, so they don't have to go and learn as much later.
Okay. Next question is going to go to Kai.
Both of you, do you think showers should be mandatory after PE?
If they were to have the showers not be as nasty as they are, I think yes, but then you have to give a little more time to shower. But as things are now, I don't believe they should be mandatory.
I don't think showers should be mandatory, but during gym class, they should give enough time after the activity that students or athletes could shower before they return to classes, but it shouldn't be mandatory.
Next question, Hayden.
Do you think school should start later than when it does now?
I don't think school should start any later than what it is right now. I think the schedule we have works fine and works with most everyone.
I agree with him that we shouldn't start later, and for those people who don't get enough sleep at night, I think that they should go to bed a little earlier so that they can get more sleep.
Okay. Last question is gonna go to Jake.
What is your opinion about backpacks in the classroom?
I believe that you should be able to carry your backpack to classes. It frees up your hand, and it would allow fewer trips, if any, to your locker throughout the school day, so it helps eliminate tardies.
If students do want to carry backpacks in the classroom, I think it should be all right, as long as it's not too full or too heavy or too big that it gets in the way of everything.
Gentlemen, you're now gonna have a chance to speak for the final time about yourselves. This is our last debate. This is the last opportunity you're gonna be able to reach your audience. So we're gonna start with Noah. You're gonna have 30 seconds to close your campaign.
I am Noah Crutcher. I believe that there should be more technology in schools. And that's it. That's all I have.
I'm Josh Shires, and I think there should be a wider range of sports and activities for certain students, no matter what their grade is.